Assalamu alaikum. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi Shali Sadri Vayasali Amri Wal Udata Milasani Qawqali Rabbi Zidilma. Okay, I hope that everyone is well. Today we are solving, as per our promise, the scenario-based question of October-November 2024, paper 2-3. The rest of the questions, you remember we have solved. So this was something that we are doing today. Before we proceed to the actual question, let's talk about the basic that you need to know. In order to score 15 out of 15 in scenario-based question, the division of marks is for assessment objective 2, you can score total of 9 marks if you are following these important things. What are those important things? You can see if a student has actually used the right selection statement, if any iteration is being used, he has handled the iteration properly, the standard method of solution like counting, totaling, input and output, if he has handled all these things efficiently, then he will be scoring total of 9 marks. Okay? He will be striving for scoring 9 out of 9 in this assessment objective 2. Secondly, if the use of the variables is accurate, like the data structures are as per the requirement of the question, then definitely a few marks are reserved for the right data structures that is to be used in the scenario-based question. You have chosen them appropriately, you have stored all the data that is required. It means that another thing that will be considered is your proper data structures being used. Now moving to assessment objective 3. How will you score? The program has been fully commented. We have been after you people since the beginning that you have to use comments properly. You have used suitable identifier names with meaningful, like suitable identifiers are being used. So thirdly, your program is following a logical order. The solution is accurate. And lastly, it is meeting all the requirements. If you have met all these conditions, then assessment objective 3, it is maximum going to give you 6 marks. You will score 6 out of 6. So if you have paid attention to these important things, then definitely you will be scoring 15 out of 15 or maybe somewhat a little closer. You should strive definitely. With our learning together, you'll definitely be achieving your targets. Now, this is the question. Members of a litter picking group complete a litter pick every month. Members' names are stored in one-dimensional array, picker name. Each member stores the weight of the litter they have picked in another 1D array. Now you can see, one is your picker name to store the names, and another one is the 1D array that is storing the weight that has been picked by these members. The weights are in kilograms with 1 decimal place, for example, 8.4. The position of each member's data in the 2 arrays is the same as has been their practice. For example, the member stored at index 10 in picker name and at index 10 in picked weight is the same. Every month, there's a small prize awarded to the members of the group who have the 2 heaviest weights. Now, your requirement is the 2 heaviest weights, the ones who have picked up the 2 heaviest weights will be awarded some prize. Certificates are awarded to all members with a picked weight of over 3 kg. Now, this is the requirement. If they have picked up above 3 kg, then they are definitely going to get a certificate. Write a program that meets the following requirements. Allows the weight of members' picks to be input and validated. Sorts the arrays, picked weight and picker name in descending order of weight, outputs the member names and the pick weights of the members with the 2 heaviest picks, and identifies them as best in group and second best in group. So first important thing is we have to apply the sorting algorithm. Exactly like which one we have learned. I hope that we remember bubble sort. So for this, you need to recall your learning of bubble sort. And you have to actually pick up the top 2 elements, the top 2 people data from these arrays. stores the name of all the members who will receive a certificate in the array pick a certificate. Now you can see another array is used here, pick a certificate, and for simplicity, all these arrays are drawn for you to comprehend that this is what is the example. And by the way, again, something which is suggested that you better draw this on your paper so that you are able to see what is going to happen. Picker name is the first array, 1D array, picked weight is the second 1D array, and picker certificate is the third 1D array. Fine. Outputs a message stating the number of certificates to be printed. That's all. You must use pseudocode or program code and add comments to explain how your code works. You do not need to declare any arrays or variables. You may assume that this has been already done. All inputs and outputs must contain suitable messages. You do not need to initialize the data in the array picker name. I hope that everything is very clear. Now let's move to the actual question. And before that, what are the requirements we have talked about? Requirement 1 is the input and validating the weights. And for that, definitely you need iteration. Second requirement is sorting the picker name and the picked weight. Definitely the two arrays are supposed to be sorted in descending order of weight. And for that, you have recalled that bubble sort means you need nested iteration to perform the sorting action. Thirdly, you have to output the top two members and their weights, and you need to display, or you need to store and the members whose names who will receive a certificate for picking up a weight of above 3, and outputting the number of certificates also. And for that, the proper iteration, the proper selection statements, assignment as needed, counting is needed. And in this manner, you will be meeting all the 3 basic requirements. Now, this is the question, and we have divided it into different parts to make us comprehend each and every part separately. First, we are handling allows the weight of members picks to be input and validated. For that, you can see, just for the purpose of simplicity, we have handled, see, here they haven't mentioned the number of members. So just in our case, what we have done is we have used a constant, and we have used constant max members equals to 100, means assuming that there are 100 members. And if, for example, the question had asked me something like maybe 200 or maybe 500, so there was no need to do this, or maybe it could have been required to be done there also. But we have just taken an assumption, we have just taken a value, and this value may vary from situation to situation. Okay, again, I'm repeating, this is just one simple example. Some other person may try to solve it in some other way, and if he is doing accurately, it will be considered completely correct. Just remember this. Now, for this, declare position is an array of 2 locations to store the best in group and second best in group. As you can see, best in group and second best in group. So for storing this message and the details of these, definitely not the details, so just to store message number 1 and message number 2. Again, a child can say message 1, message 2. That's perfectly okay also. So we have used an array by the name position of 2 locations. The first location is holding best in group. Second location is holding second best in group. That's perfectly okay. Now moving to the actual requirement, we are supposed to validate the members picks. Again, we are going to iterate max member times, as we have mentioned here, next index. We are performing the validation by using repeat until, and inside the repeat until we have used print and input, and we are taking the input in the variable picked weight and index position. We are using index here. Just again something that we have taken, assuming that the person cannot carry more than 10 kg. So that is why we have again saying that until picked weight of index is greater than or equals to 1 and picked weight of index is less than or equal to 10. It means that we are assuming that this is the minimum and the maximum weight that can be carried easily by an individual, by a member. Again, these values again not mentioned, so a child can assume some other values, and he will also be correct. I hope that we are clear. Input taken, we didn't know, so we have just taken a constant, initialized with a value like 100 or 200 or 500. We have declared an array by the name position to store the two messages, best in group and second best in group, which needs to be printed. Again, one method. Another method, as I've said, we can use two variables, message one, message two, and we can display that also. That's perfectly okay. And this is the iteration that is done to handle the total number of members, and input is taken and validated until picked weight of index is between 1 and 10 inclusive. This is what we have done. I hope that there is no question. Now let's move to the second part of this requirement, and that is sorting the elements in the array. For that, you can see this is what we have done. We have done in our class also, that we take a variable by the name last, for example, and we are initializing with the highest value, that is max member, maybe 100. And then we are going to talk about repeat until, and inside this we have a variable by the name swap. When we are starting our sorting process, we are initializing the swap variable with false, and we are performing the inner loop by using for and next, and the outer loop is handled using repeat until. The same technique we have tried to keep it in the same manner as we have learned in the class. So still, if you have a query, then you can watch the video for the sorting separately also to make your concept a little clearer. Again, repeating, we are initializing the variable last with the max member, that is 100 in our case. We are starting our repeat loop, repeat until, not swap, or last equals to 1. And inside, we have initialized the swap variable with false. And then we are starting the for loop for index equals to 1 to max member minus 1. Is it correct? Okay, this is one method, fine. If picked weight of index is less than picked weight of index plus 1, then assume that we are talking about this situation. Like talking about this situation, 2.8 is less than 8.4. Index is 1 and the value of index plus 1 is 2. So is 2.8 less than 8.4? Is that so? Yes. In this case, since you can see, I'm not going to swap the weight only. The names of the two should also be swapped. Like, for example, this Ali should come here and Ahmad should go there. If I'm swapping these two values, it should not be these two values only. It should be both the name and the weights are supposed to be swapped. And for that, what are we doing? We are actually storing the weights and the names in temporary variables. We had been using temp, so what are we doing here? We have taken temp weight equals to picked weight of index. It means that first location's data, like 2.8, will be moving in our case to temp weight. And we are going to move 8.4 to location number 1. 2.4 is going to move to 2.8 is going to move to location number to location temp weight. 8.4 will move to 8.4, which is on second position, will move to first position. And index plus 1, which is 2, is now going to hold 2.8. So in this manner, with these three lines, which we have done earlier also, the weight will be swapped. If I leave it here, that will be incorrect. I need to also move the names. And for that, we are using another variable, temp name, that is going to hold the picker name like Ali. Definitely, I'm going to swap Ali and Ahmed also. So in this case, Ali will move to temp name, and picker name of index means Ahmed will move to Ali's position. That is going to be second position's data will move to the first position. And then second position that is here, that was earlier holding Ahmed, will now hold Ali. So in this manner, Ali, that was in position number 1, will be swapped to position number 2. Ahmed will come in place of Ali. In this manner, after we have performed these two temp, like handling of temp, both of the names and the weights are going to be swapped. And since swapping has been successful, that's why we will say swap equals to true. Fine. And if next index will take it back, and in this manner we will continue. And last equals to last minus 1. Okay, you Ali, you are saying it should be last minus 1 or max members minus 1. Okay, fine. Different things. And in this manner, just be careful that it's not the name only or the weight only, it's both the things that should be swapped. Just remember the sequence. You can use different variables, temp weight to store the weight and temp name to store the name. And in this manner, both the name and the weights will be swapped. And once you are done with this, your work is accomplished. I hope that that is very simple. Now, moving to the next stage. Next stage is the output stage. Outputs the member names and the picked weight of the, by the way, in this manner, you will come to handle the whole thing. I'm not going to like just do this whole process right now to make you comprehend. But remember, in this manner, once you are done with all the, all the inner loop is completed, then the outer loop will change again. And in this manner, the whole swapping will be performed. And then you are done. By the way, my objective right now is not to teach you sorting. You already know, because we have done it in the class, but just my objective right now is to discuss with you how the sorting is going to be accomplished in this case. Then last stage is the output stage. Here you can see what is required. Outputs the member names and the pick weights of the members with the 2 heaviest picks and identifies them as best in group and second best in group. So for this, what is being done? Output details of the top 2 members. Index equals to 1 to 2. Output position index means position 1, as we had done. So best in group will be picked, will be displayed. From the picker name, we are picking from the first location, whichever, definitely if the swapping has been done, when we are done with the second phase of sorting our data, then you can see the top 2 elements or in the same sequence, all the data is now in the descending order. So it means that actually the 2 topmost elements, like as you can see here, if we talk about this situation, the 2 topmost elements are going, for example, going to be like 2.8 is moved down. 8.4 will come in this position. 2.4 is down. 5 is down. 6.7. If we take this data, that is going to be position number 2. Then this is position number 3, and this is position number 4, and this is position number 5. If we assume that this is here, so in this manner, you can see the first is your 8.4, that is Ahmed. Second is your 6.7, whoever, for example, Zia is there or Zain is there. He has, so Zain and Ahmed, their names will be displayed along with their picked weight. So for this reason, what are we doing? Position index means best in group. Picker name will be Ahmed. Picked weight of 8.4 kg. In this manner, this is over for the first time. Second time, the loop will iterate again, and it will pick from position array. From index location means second location, second best in group. This was best in group and then second best in group. And it will display the name of the person who is, like in our case, in our what we have taken Zain, picked weight of 6.7 kg. In this manner, our top 2 members' name and the picked weights will be displayed, and we are done with our first part of our output. I think it's very simple. Moving to the second part of the output, that is dealing with counting and outputting the number of certificates required, and also store the names in the array also. For that, you can see we have taken a variable count, and we are starting to do from for index equals to 1 to max members. And inside this, we are just simply, if picked weight of index is greater than 3, that was requirement. They have picked up the weight of 3 or above, over 3 kg. So we have just simply checked if bit weight of index is greater than 3, then count equals to count plus 1. I hope that's very simple. This is the trick. Picker certificate will now hold the name, like just to make you comprehend, we have just done this. Definitely this will not be coming. That's correct. It will be the name of the people. Like in our case, it will be 8.4. That is your Ahmed. And then it will be, second one will be, as you can see, um, actually, I've just done it just to make you comprehend that these certificates out of our data will be moved here. So let me just explain it for you people so that you will remember it, inshallah, in the paper also, that it will be the names of the people will be taken. 8.4 is with Ahmed, so his name will be here. Second is 5.0, that is basically your Ibrahim. And then third, it's going to be 6.7, which is Zain. In this manner, these three, in our case right now, definitely there will be others also. So here you can see count equals to count plus 1. That's simple. I've counted. In our case, out of 5 values, 3 are meeting the criteria. So their values will be here. Their names will be here. So you can see here, picker certificate of count. Picker certificate of count means picker certificate of 1 will hold the name of this. Like, see, Ali is not meeting the criteria. So that's why we have checked, but Ali's name was not there. Second value picked Ahmed. Ahmed's weight is meeting the criteria. So in this case, what will happen? Like, what will happen then? We are going to store in this location the data of Ahmed. It will be Ahmed's name that will be printed because he has actually done the good job. So Ahmed's name will be coming here. Secondly, you can see now it is 5.0. 5.0 is going to be your Ibrahim. So in this manner, it will be Ibrahim who will be printed here. Then thirdly, it will be Zain. So Zain's name will be printed here. So actually, this is something that is just done to make you comprehend. So Zain, Ibrahim, and their names will be displayed here. I hope that that is making sense to everyone. And once the loop is over, once we are done with all the iterations, we have checked the weight, and then we have found the total number of people who are eligible to get the certificate. So the last thing is we are just printing the number of certificates to be printed by using the count variable. We have tried to divide it, decompose the entire question into parts so we all can comprehend. And for those who want the final answer in a go, this is the whole answer for you people. You can see all the stages. Definitely will do it in the same manner, but just to make you comprehend, this is what you will do in the paper also. You will figure out, you will perform decomposition, you will figure out what needs to be done, and only then you will start doing your work. Fine. So now for the ones who want to have a look at the entire stuff, this whole is here. Go through this. Any questions you can ask. Okay, definitely I'll share with you the presentation also. But I suggest you that you work on different parts so that you can comprehend the entire stuff and you're not making a mistake at all. Yes, exactly, Ahmed. Whatever was done earlier, the whole thing is now placed all together for us to comprehend how this whole thing has happened. Again, telling you there are different means, different methods of solving the questions, pseudocode questions. So maybe whatever you are thinking, Whatever other people do, they all are correct. Pseudocode is something that pseudocode writing is something that is um, independent of, like, there's no one thing that is going to be the right thing. Maybe a lot of people can think their own methods and they all are correct. As far as you are meeting the criteria, that's perfectly okay. Like, just giving you an example. If, for example, a student has used if, just giving you an example for selection, he has used if, and another student thinks that if it's more than two situations, he wants it to do with case, that's perfectly okay. If he is able to handle the question with case, that's perfectly correct. I know that it's very much simple, very clear. The only thing that was a little trouble for you, that was something that is different here, was sorting, where two elements need to be swapped. Actually, it's two arrays need to be swapped. So this is something that we need to be very cautious about. I hope that it's very simple. You have understood the method, and inshallah, you will not make a mistake if it comes in the paper. Jazakallah khairan Kasida for being a part of the learning journey. Hope that you have liked my explanation. You have liked the videos. Definitely subscribe, like, and share with your friends and family so that they all are going to benefit from it. Take very good care of yourselves and your loved ones. Keep learning, keep watching, and keep sharing with your acquaintances. May Allah bless you. May Allah help you. Allah Hafiz.